Hey moms, welcome to part 2 in the series, How to Create a Website for Beginners. In the previous video, we talked about configuring WordPress and installing plugins. This week, I'm going to show you how to configure the Divi theme for your website. I'm so glad you're here for another episode of the Life Unboxed blog show, where we talk about all things momtrepreneur, from raising your kids to running a business, and the most important, keeping your sanity. I am Jodie the mom from lifeunboxed.blog. If you are enjoying this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Remember, I would love to hear your questions that you just can't seem to get answered. The goal of this series is to enable you to create a website on your own. If you're just starting a business or want to see it grow, I want to give you the tools that you need to build a website between nap time. I will try to make these videos about 10 minutes, but as you can see from the previous one, I did go a little over. But this is definitely for the beginner. So if you don't know anything, you're in the right place. You can make a website even if you are a beginner. The theme that we will be using for this entire series is the Divi theme by Elegant Themes. If you don't have it installed already, check out the first video where I show you how to do that. And if you still need to purchase the theme, I will leave the link in the description below. Divi offers 2 types of subscriptions, yearly and lifetime. I recommend getting the lifetime subscription. And you can watch my other video, what to do before you start building a website to make it easier, where I go into more detail on the different subscriptions and why I recommend the lifetime subscription. So we are going to configure 2 areas of the website today, the theme options and the theme customizer. So I am going to get out of your way and just show you the screen. Okay. So here is our WordPress website that we worked on last time. So the first thing that we want to do is go to the Divi theme options. For the most part, I leave the default settings, but there will be a few things that I change. So on the general tab, and we see it here, I am going to upload our logo. We're going to select File. So here's our logo, and I am going to upload this one right here. And the logo was made in Canva. Set as logo. So you can see now we have a logo here, and this will pull into the menu and where we set logo and all this good stuff. So fixed navigation bar, we've enabled that. Enable Divi Gallery. For now, we're going to leave it disabled. If we decide to enable it later, we'll just come back and do it. Okay, so this is the fun part, is we get to add our colors to the palette. So my first one, and I've already picked my colors. Remember, that's something that we do before we do anything else. Okay, I'm going to, because I want my main colors to be first. So I picked the cream color. Then I also chose a charcoal. Okay, and a blue. So it's the same blue that you'll see in our logo. And then I also chose a tan. Now, I would only recommend 3 to 4 colors. So I'm putting in the tan as it's complementary to the logo. So I want to change this to white. So I always like to have black and white in there as well. And this, we're going to change it to black. That's black. And the other 2, I'll probably just make one a gray. let's grab our charcoal again. Because as a preference, I just don't want other colors in here that I haven't picked. So we're doing gray. Let's actually go back to black. And let's put in our gray so that we can get a true black color. There we go. It's a little more true. Okay. And the purple, we'll just make it white. Okay. So these first 4 colors are our main color palette. Now this is going to show up in all of the modules. This is your default color palette. So when you want to make changes or add color to your website, you'll have your colors at your fingertips. Okay, so now that we've added our color, let's see what else we need to change in here. Okay, so grab the first post image. We're going to enable that. So if you don't set a featured image, it's going to just pull the first image in your post in the different places. Okay, what else do we want? So blog style, we'll turn that on. Okay, so we have the sidebar. The Google API key, this is for maps, if you're going to enable maps on your website. Since we're not using maps, we're going to turn that off. And okay, these icons is social media icons. You have show Facebook icon, show Twitter icon, Google Plus icon, show Instagram, RSS icon. All of these icons are going to show up in the footer if you have them enabled. But since we're going to build our footer from scratch, I'm going to disable all of them. We want to keep Google Fonts enabled. Okay, so if you, for some reason, only have 5 fonts available to you, you probably need to come in here and enable the Google Fonts. Okay, so number of posts, we're going to leave that as is. So use excerpts when defined. We're going to disable that because our SEO and our excerpts are going to come from our Yoast plugin that we installed. So responsive shortcodes, keep that enabled. Google font subsets, we're going to keep that disabled unless you think your website is going to be translated into another language. Then you'll want to enable your Google fonts subsets. And all of these are really up to you whether you want them enabled or not. So for now, we are going to leave them all disabled. And you want to enable responsive images. This is if people are switching to going to look at your website on a mobile device, this will allow the images to respond to that screen size as well. Okay, so everything else we're going to leave as is, and we're going to save the changes. Okay, so that's what we do in the General tab. Now let's go to Navigation. So if it has a check, that means it's going to be a part of the navigation right now, but we're actually going to create our menu in the widgets section. So these you would just leave as is if you want. I like to turn off display home link because I like to make the logo the home link. So I don't want the logo to take you home and then also have something that says home, but that's totally up to you. Again, this is just my preference. So this is good. We're going to leave it as is. And you'll see we have, so that's for pages, categories, we're going to leave as is. General settings, we're going to leave as is as well. Okay, so let's check out the builder. And honestly, we're going to leave this all as is too. We're going to change one thing in the Advanced tab, and that is disable this, especially if you're building the website. If you find that you make changes to the website, but when you exit your visual builder and you're not seeing those changes, it's probably because this static CSS file generation is enabled. Just disable that. It's going to cause you more grief. Okay, so let's check out our layout. So this, choose which items to display in the post info section. You can choose author, date, categories, number of comments. So frankly, I'm just going to leave all of this on because we will create our post layout in the theme builder. Okay, yeah, we'll just leave this as is, general settings, leave it as is. So ads, we don't have anything to put on our website right now, so we're not going to touch that. SEO, we're just going to leave this as it is because we've installed Yoast SEO plugin, and all of our SEO will be using through that plugin or adding to that plugin. So, yep, we'll just leave the code integration on. And then updates, we added our Divi Theme API key in the last video, and so that's already been filled in. So let's hit Save Changes one more time. And that is it for the Divi Theme options. It's really easy to do. The big thing on here is to add your logo and to add your color palette. So the next place we're going to customize is the theme builder, or I'm sorry, the theme customizer. So I'm just going to say this, that there are many ways to do things in Divi. There's more for most of the customizations you want to make, or even how to build the website. There's more than one way to do it. So you may have already watched some videos or heard some other people talking about Divi and have shown you a different way to do it. And there really isn't a right or wrong way. So just keep that in mind, that there are many ways to customize these areas or to build your Divi website. So let's check out our general settings. So site identity. Okay, so we are going to put our logo here again, and you're going to see this icon change. Okay, so it's asking us, yeah, we're good with that. Okay, so you can see we have our logo here, and we also have it up here. And it's not very visible, so I would actually probably change that to something that would make it a little more visible, but for now we're just going to leave it as is. Okay, so let's come back to layout settings. So our content is 1080, and we'll leave that as is. This is also where you would enable your boxed layout. So I don't know if you've seen some websites where it has like background color behind the website. In Divi, that would be the box layout, but we're just going to keep it as full width. Okay, in the theme accent color, I'm going to change it to our charcoal color that we had, just to keep it very neutral. So let's go back. That's done. Okay, so this I do change quite a bit in the typography settings. Now you'll have some people who will suggest that you make a style sheet and use the presets. For typography, I like to set them up in here because this is going to put my fonts across every module on the website. So I don't have to change the font to my brand fonts unless I want to do that. So we are going to change the body text to 16. And I just like it bigger. We'll leave the line height the same. Header, same. All of this will keep the same. We're going to change the header font. So this is going to be the font for your titles. And I want to use Satisfy. So let's go down to our S's. Okay, so for our header font, we're going to choose Satisfy. And you can see all of our header fonts changed over here. 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 Okay, the next we are going to change the body link color. So this is the color that is going to, when you link to text in your website, it will automatically change to this color. And we're going to use our blue accent color from our logo. You see how I did that? I was able to just select the palette down here. Body text color, we'll keep it gray, but the header text, I also want to change to our blue so that it'll stand out. Okay, so that's it for our typography settings. So let's go to background. And I just want to change the background color to white. So we'll select that there and let's go back. Okay, so all of our general settings are done. So let's check out what else we have. So header and navigation. So you can, like I said previously, there's different ways to do things in Divi. So you can create your menu from here and format it from here. You are limited in what you can do, or we can create it in the Divi builder. So I'll just show you how to create it here because sometimes it's just easier. So you can do where your logo is either centered. So like this, so it's above the menu. There's your menu, or centered in line. So it's in the middle of the menu. Let's see, slide in. So here it is. So the menu will slide in, or full screen. So what we're going to do is, I think we're just going to do centered, just like that. So primary menu bar. So we want to make it full width because we want it to always expand the size of the screen. And we need to change the menu height because you can barely see our logo. Look at that. So I probably don't want it that big. But you know what? Let's go back. Let's change our format because I'm not liking how this is looking with the logo. All right. Let's just leave it. Let's spread out our logo. There we go. So we're making the logo bigger. Let's see that. All right, we'll put it there. So just play around with these settings until you reach a setting that you like, a size that you like. Okay, let's go back to our typography because I forgot to set the body font. So I'm changing the body font to Poppins medium. So let's scroll down to our P's. So let's go with Poppins. So you see how it changed. And I like Poppins because it's a bold font, so it doesn't matter what size. It just shows it better on smaller screens. It's easier to read. All right, so let's go back to our header and navigation. Okay, so we've got our logo size, our text size, letter spacing, default theme font. So the typography on the menu is going to be the same as your default theme. That's why we set it up where we set it up. Text color we'll keep as gray, and you can also change the font style. So this would make it all caps, which that looks nice. But I'm just going to leave it regular right now. So active link color. I'm also going to want to make this our blue color. Now the active link color is going to, let's just say you're on the about page. So it's going to highlight about so people know what page they're on. Background color, we might play with these a little bit. If we have a drop down menu, let's just go ahead and make that blue as well. Okay, so for now you can do a couple of things. If you have a picture, or actually I'll just show you. So you can change the transparency on the menu so the picture shows up in the background. So that would be right here. And you would just pull this down to where you want it. Since we don't have a picture, you really can't see it. So I wanted to show you on my actual website. And you can see my active link is home. So home is showing up orange. And if I scroll, it shrinks down and the background goes back to solid white. And I'll show you where to do that. So we're good on this. That's all I would really change for the primary menu bar. So these are the fixed menu settings, and this is what you would change if you wanted to make your menu smaller, larger as you scroll. And since we don't have much on this page, nothing is being activated when we scroll. So we may come back and switch this out once we have more stuff on our page. Okay, so in our header navigation settings, we also want to change the active primary menu link color. So let's make that our blue color again. And typically for the fixed menu, let's just play around with this real quick. So let's see. Yeah, we still don't have enough on here to activate all this. So we might have to come back so that you can see how this works once we have more on here. So for now, we'll just keep it white. And again, this is what would change because there's enough on here to activate that scroll. So you can see that this becomes solid white and the menu height shrinks down. So that's where you would play with these settings. And you can also hide the logo once you start scrolling as well. So let's publish that. All right, so as you can see here, we're back in the secondary menu bar. And you can see if I move the text size, this is the secondary menu. That's where that's going to be. All right, so let's go back. We'll just keep it at 14. Let's change the background color to our normal color. But you don't have to have a secondary menu bar, just so you know. I just want to show it to you. And let's go to the header elements. So when we put in, let's do our email. So it shows up in the secondary menu section. Okay, and phone number also shows up in the secondary menu section. So we don't want a second menu bar. We're going to take these out. We're just going to get rid of this. And we'll just make it white. Okay, so that's it for the header and navigation. So now we want to go into the footer. So that's the layout that you have, footer background color. I'll just change this so you can see what it does. Let's go back. So the bottom bar, that's down here. So this is typically where you would put like your copyright. So let's go. Oh, copyright 2021. And then also this is where, remember when we were in our Divi theme options and we had those lists of social media websites, and we could opt to either show the icons or not. Well, this is where the icons would show up if we had said, yes, we want to show them. So you can disable footer credits. So now they're totally gone. And this is you have options for social icon sizes, but you have to go back to the Divi theme options to enable those icon sizes. Let's go back. And really, I don't change anything else here because we're actually going to override all of this stuff in the Divi theme builder. So buttons, blog, mobile styles, color schemes, menus, homepage settings. This is probably the one that I'll change here, and I'll make it a static page and select. Once the homepage is published, then I would select the homepage. But for now, since we don't have anything published, we'll just leave it as is. So those are the main settings that I actually change here. And you want to publish so that it'll make those changes. And I may play around with the logo a little bit, and just to make it pop a little bit more, and also the icon up on the tab, because I want it to be seen. I want people to be able to see it better. So I'll probably play around with that. So you may see changes when we come back for our next tutorial. I am so glad you joined me today. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Remember to check out the Life Unboxed store for all of your Mom Boss merch. For more great momtrepreneur content, check out lifeunboxed.blog or download the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to share the podcast and videos with your friends.